I'm Manuel, and this is the first ever episode of Play for Work, a YouTube channel I'm intending to create, consisting of several videos where I review different methodologies, toolkits, and innovation frameworks in order to help you make an informed decision on which kind of methodology is the right one for you or for the challenges you're trying to solve. I'm personally an innovation consultant and innovation coach since, 10 years now. And I love to collect all different kinds of methodologies and especially playful methodologies, because I personally believe that bringing play into business is helping people to solve big challenges more easily and even with some fun in it. And fun is really important in order to solve problems. So in this first episode, I'm happy to create an overview on Playmobil.pro, a toolkit that has been released like a month ago in the beginning of August by the famous toy company Playmobil. And I'm really looking forward into diving into it and look what's there for us. Stay tuned. Let's see. The famous toy company Playmobil started a project in the beginning of 2019 where they explored what they could provide to professionals in the business life with their toys in order to solve problems. And they did this in a quite prototyping way, as in January, I guess, they uploaded a video on LinkedIn, a quick video prototype to see how business people, consultants and coaches would respond, and it exploded. So based on that feedback, where people were really curious, okay, what's in there? How can I use Playmobil in order to work with it? It's perfect. Seems an interesting proposition. And so Playmobil explored it quite deeply with a lot of beta testers and different companies they invited to test out their kit. In August, 3rd of August this year, they released their basic starter kit, which I have here and which I'm really curious of looking into, and show you what's in there and how this could be applied to your topics. The Playmobil box comes with a white cardboard box with the Playmobil Pro logo on it, and on the back you get standard description of the product with a note that for professional use only, so probably not suited for child's play. There. This is the character drawer where we have different characters, which is nice. You have all the pieces separated in these small bins, so you can distribute the pieces among the group in a room as well quite easily, which I really like. What we have here is the typical iconic Playmobil figure. You've got male figures, you've got female figures, you've got male children, you've got female children, so boys and girls, you've got really small infants, and even a baby. Here, you have a baby. Probably one of the most interesting features of this Playmobil Pro kit is that the figures themselves are white and you can customize them with a pen. I will show you that later on. But there's one more interesting thing. So you've got these stands, which you can easily put on the figures and position them on the table. Good for moving around, and it's not so easily to fall over or something. We've got one robot. Actually, in times of digitization and in these times, robots are really important. We'll need to have one there. We have all kinds of different animals. You've got sheep, you've got even a pony, got a small lion, a hare, a duck, a guinea pig, snake, a sea star, a cat, a raccoon, different types of dogs, a fox, a monkey, and even a baby panda. Oh, how lovely is that? Small baby panda. Yeah, that's it basically for the animals and the figures what we have in there. need to find out a way in order to keep that organized in an already organized way. Those are the characters. Now, well, let's keep one character out there, or two, man and a woman. And let's see how far that goes. Now up to the costumes. Here are the costumes. And props. So what we have here is different arrangement of different hats. For example, I can use this cowboy hat, put it on my figure. I can use this harlequin hat, which I really like. Probably the creative disruptor in a company, or the business robber can be depicted by that. You've got a fire extinguisher. Then you've, here, what do we have here? A camera. Interesting. Put that on there. We've got different signs, which look interesting as well. So let's take this sign in here. Ooh, and you've got a drone. You will need to have a drone in here, don't you? Times like these, where drone deliveries are at the brink. Yeah, let's keep that here. And what we have here as well is, it seems like a drawing board. Even some dynamite for some exploding topics. That's so far with the different hats and costumes. So you can customize your figures quite easily, as you've seen here. Let's move on. What do we have here? Cardboard box depicting a parcel. So probably good for supply chain visualization on how to move the working item back and forth. Already seeing some kind of applications for that just by playing around with it. We've got a laptop, a scale. Is there something else in here? A book, another book, newspapers, another laptop, some mail to show. We've got a treasure chest in here that we can use and put gold and money into it with this golden nugget. When I'm explaining this and grabbing the different pieces, already some metaphors coming to mind on how that relates to business to some extent. So for example, the golden nugget in the room, which kind of innovation do we need to pursue in order to reap this nugget, or potentially just get a smaller nugget so you can show market shares or market sizes with it as well. We've even got some money in here to talk about the serious stuff. Okay. What else do we have? Here we have a table. Put the books back. Leave that here. Leave the notepad here and do that back. And we even got a chisel stand. What you see though is you need to cram around a little bit in your playing area to see how the different pieces fit together, and even a design thinking table, like use it as a whiteboard or use it as a table. I will keep that as well. Finally, we have the stationery kit. It's an own kit where you bring all your business items as well. So you can bring different markers. There are 3 provided with this set, which in my opinion could have been more. There are flags with suction cups to fix them on the table. I've got some sort of transparent stands where I'm not really sure about what they are for. We've got washi tape in order to roll down, create a grid or a timeline or something like that on the table. Sticky notes. It's nice to have something like that included from the beginning. And we've got these kind of wipes, pen wipes, that, as Playmobil states, will help you to clean your figures if you draw on them, because that's a really cool feature. Okay, that's it with the contents. Now let's see how we can use them. You can easily form a scenery in an instant to show a certain situation, probably hard discussion or a difficult discussion between software developers and the creative department that tries to create something new immediately and need that in an instant, and they say, well, stop, I don't have time for that. I need to act like a firefighter as there are other problems in a business solution we just created, and I need to delete this fire with the fire extinguisher or something like that. Ask the participants to build sceneries and to replay certain situations from a business context in order to get a better understanding in the group what happened and how to probably solve that. Now, as one of the key features of Playmobil Pro is the blank figures that you can write on them, I would say we'll have a quick look into if that really works. This is Tim, the software developer. I would think that drawing on it would be hard, but it works quite nicely with these kind of markers. So I will definitely look into it and buy some more, because there are just 3 included, especially as I'm thinking about one kind of application. Starting a workshop by distributing figures to every participant and asking them to customize the figure just with the marker without any accessories to get used to drawing on these kind of figures or elements. Because I think that would be a good warm-up exercise to get people into working with these kind of tools. Probably Tim has a broken leg because he had an accident. Tim loves to riding mountain bikes. He probably had an accident or something. So you can write on each side and add additional information if it is necessary for the context. And then here we have, I would say this is Maria, and she's unsatisfied because her marketing campaign is delayed. And now she's asking Tim to create this app or whatever was part of this marketing campaign to speed up the process. And that's probably a conflict that is here in the company. They need to look together onto it and solve it together. That's how you can write on it. And also some stationary items are blank as well. For example, having this laptop here, you could even start to draw a small user interface here, or a presentation, add actual meaning to the pieces in an instant. And also here with the tablet, where we can say, I am a tablet, or whatever else it should be. You can even draw on the flags or on these signs. So you can say stop and go. Stop or go, turn it around as you need it. This writing on these elements is really interesting, and I guess there are a ton of different creative applications for people if they collaborate together with these kind of stuff. And it's potentially one of the biggest strong points for this overall Playmobil Pro kit itself. We can use sticky notes to say problem solution space is how to get the app ready to fuel the marketing campaign. Talking about app here, Playmobil also stated or announced when they released the Playmobil Pro kit that there will be a documentation app available from the App Store for Android and iOS. I'm really looking into that, because one of the biggest challenges with these kind of playful approaches in business environments is how do you document the results? How do you get what happens in the room with all its meaning and understanding to business afterwards and really act upon them? That's a big challenge with every workshop, basically. Having something here really is something interesting to have, I would say. So I guess that these stands, which I don't know what they are there for, are meant to be used with sticky notes. We are used to use sticky notes with the adhesive on top to put it on a wall. But if you make it upright and it's not the same size, you can see this, you should probably do it the other way around to make it really nice and that it works. Same is true for these kind of stands. Turning it around would make it easier to use this as a flip chart. Looks like a flip chart, doesn't it? So already learned something. You need to probably think the other way around while using the sticky notes with the stationary items. Which brings me to one thing. There is no description included in the whole set about how to use or apply the different stationary items. I'm not talking about methodology here. I'm solely talking about these stands and how they meant to be. I would have loved if Playmobil would have provided at least a picture to show the different application techniques you have with the different elements. So it's not all on yourself to figure out and find out on beforehand. Having talked about drawing on the figures, there's always this fear of, does it smear or smudge? If you put some force or pressure into it, it will smudge. I'll open one wipe. So it smudges more if you're trying to get rid of it. Just clean again. I will do the others quickly as well. I tested it at home with just clear water, rinsing it, and it was getting off again. See there. So this is a little bit of a smudge work, but that's fine. If it speeds up the process in conversation, then this is something you should definitely be willing to afterwards having this cleanup work. The promise is kept. The wipes help to clean up the different pieces. However, there are just 10 wipes included. I'm curious about if Playmobil Pro will provide refill kits for the stationery set, where I can order additional wipes, additional branded pens, potentially the sticky notes. You don't need to use the Playmobil Pro sticky notes, but as the whole set is oozing the Playmobil brand and bringing that to a business, I would love to see branded refills from Playmobil, wipes, the pens and the sticky notes, just to keep it straight and as tight together as possible. Here are the maps to combine with Playmobil Pro that Playmobil is providing on their website. One of the most interesting ones potentially is the stakeholder map. It's intended to combine it with the figures in order to understand the stakeholders that are affected by a change program, by a meeting, by an event, whatever you're going to create, and also by positioning them in the different areas for us. Then they add as well customer journey map, basic one. It's basically about awareness, findability, reputation, conversation, advocacy. Not really sure how to combine that really with the minifigures, especially this template. Customer journey mapping I would personally do with creating different scenes, taking a picture out of that and creating the information and the knowledge you need to add there on the go. But at least they have these kind of templates. They also provide a personas map. You can build a persona before and then take this map to fill it out and make it better to understand and to flesh out the different user needs and so on and the behavior, which is nice. But I'm not feeling right now that these kind of maps really interact with the beauty and the possibilities this kit is providing. But I'm sure there will be other approaches or canvases or tools ready in the future where the community will grow them and bring it together. What do I think about Playmobil Pro? I was really curious about getting the Playmobil Pro kit and having it here. And I really like the thought they put into the toolkit itself. Like providing a carrying case from the beginning so you have everything neatly and tightly organized all the time. It's easy to grab the box, bring it to the meeting, unfolding the creativity that's in it. I also love the quality of the figures. It's the quality you would expect from a famous brand like Playmobil. The feature of the blank figures is awesome. It's just great, isn't it? You can write on the stuff and then you erase it later on. I guess that this feature will allow for a ton of different applications and applications with this tool. What else do I like? I like the inclusion of some gadgets like the drone, the laptop, the robot, but also nature items like the animals or metaphorical stuff like gold nuggets, fire, the thunderbolts and so on. So there's a nice collection there to work quite well in business terms to communicate craft stories. I like that they have an own stationery drawer where you can put in all your pens and that stuff to really have everything on you when you go to the workshop room. I'm not sure about the branding, I need to say. If I want to have branded consumables as they are, because you will need to replace the sticky notes, the wipes or the markers at some point. Then mixing branded items with unbranded items, it's just not for me. So Playmobil, please either offer an official refill for this or just share where you're buying the refills, where you order them. So especially the wipes, I would be interested in them. The markers are simple, Stettler, Lumacolor. Everybody can get them online or in your office shop. Yeah, and the sticky notes are easy to get by as well. And the user guide. I'm not a fan of this user guide, I need to say. Basically, it's not a user guide, it's an overview of the contents. Because from 14 pages, it's like 10 pages are full of having an overview of what's in there, which is good because with that you can keep it in an organized way. But just 2 pages of application, seriously, please provide some more insights on how people used it in the testing phase, what the benefits were of using Playmobil Pro in their certain context, and providing people with a glimpse into how to bring this to a business meeting more often. And not just providing the 2 examples with tell your story about yourself or playing charades. That's a warm-up game, but it's not serious play in a sense. So please provide more insights on how to use it. Because I could think of people getting excited about the possibility to bring Playmobil Pro to the business room, wanting to start out with it, ordering the kit and then sitting there and say, okay, well, what do I do now with it? How to get people involved into the playful approach and so on. This is really an important topic. Yes, coaches and consultants and internal facilitators or external facilitators should know on how to apply it, but you could ease their time as well by providing certain challenges in order to get into flow, get to work with it, and so on. On the other hand, to be fair, I need to say there are tons of opportunities for creative consultants, coaches, and facilitators to develop their own approach using the Playmobil Pro set as well and seeing where it could be applied. That's it. Would I buy it? Yes. Will I try it? I will try it in different scenarios, looking forward to it, but I need to think about how to use it, where to use it, and where it really brings an added value to the workshops that I'm gonna create with it. Is it worth the 500 euros? Not sure. I guess 500 is the pain point, the threshold in terms of money. I'm looking forward to different expansion kits to certain topics, which would be nice. We'll see if it is really worthwhile and if Playmobil also provides a space where we as facilitators and coaches and consultants can share our experiences and how to approach it and how to use the Playmobil Pro kit in order to foster a community around it and not only focus on creating expansion after expansion, because if that's the case, we will see, it would draw me off a little bit. So that's it with my verdict on Playmobil Pro. I hope you enjoyed this session and got an overview on what you get if you buy Playmobil Pro and probably get 1 or 2 ideas on how to use it and create a decision if it is for you or not. I will look deeper into it. I will create some different workshop designs with it, share it with you on video in a few weeks. Looking forward to it. Please leave your comments down below and hopefully we'll see each other again.